From the very first moment, this home feels less like an object and more like an atmosphere. It is quiet without being empty, refined without being cold. Designed around the philosophy of calm living, every surface, proportion, and pause in space is intentional. This is a house that does not demand attention, but gently earns it, inviting the mind to slow down and the body to exhale. Here, architecture goes beyond shelter. It becomes a sensory experience shaped by light, shadow, and silence. The layout is composed like a piece of music, soft transitions, subtle rhythms, and moments of rest between every function. The emotional tone is consistent, grounded, serene, and deeply human. The journey begins before stepping inside. A restrained facade, muted textures, and a controlled palette prepare the senses. There is no visual noise, only a gentle suggestion that beyond the door lies a different tempo of living, slower, more intentional, more aware. Crossing into the home feels ceremonial. The entry is not dramatic, yet it is meaningful. Space opens gradually, light diffuses softly, and the outside world fades away. It's a transition designed to reset the nervous system, not just guide the feet. Colors here echo natural elements: warm whites, sandy beiges, soft stone grays, and gentle wood tones. This palette does not compete for attention, it harmonizes with it. The result is visual continuity that allows the mind to rest without distraction. Natural light is treated as a living material. Morning light drapes gently across textured walls, while afternoon sun filters through sheer layers, creating slow-moving shadows. The home changes mood throughout the day, reminding its inhabitants to stay present. The layout avoids rigid boundaries. Instead, spaces flow with subtle definition through ceiling heights, material shifts, and light gradients. This openness does not feel exposed, but expansive, offering freedom while preserving intimacy. Each piece of furniture feels carefully chosen, never excessive. Low profiles, soft edges, and tactile fabrics support the architecture rather than dominate it. They exist to serve comfort and calm, becoming companions to daily rituals rather than statements. Perhaps the most powerful design element here is what is left untouched. Empty walls, open corners, and uncluttered surfaces create breathing room for the eyes and the mind. This is minimalism not as trend, but as respect for silence. the main living space feels like the emotional heart of the home. A generous sofa, gentle light, and a grounded material palette create an environment for reflection, conversation, or quiet solitude. It's a space that holds you without overwhelming you. The kitchen is refined yet deeply functional. Clean lines, hidden storage, and natural materials transform daily cooking into a meditative act. Here, preparing food becomes a slow ritual rather than a rushed task. From lime-washed walls to natural wood grain and soft-woven textiles, the tactile quality of the home is just as important as the visual. These textures bring warmth to minimalism, ensuring the space feels lived in rather than curated. The dining area feels intimate yet open. It encourages long conversations, slow meals, and shared silence. The simplicity of this setting places focus not on design, but on connection. Even transitional spaces are treated with care. Corridors are softly lit, adorned with subtle artwork, and proportioned to feel calm rather than narrow. Movement through the home becomes a gentle journey rather than a functional necessity. The bedroom strips life down to its essentials: rest, softness, and peace. The color palette becomes even more muted, the lighting more subdued. It feels like a cocoon, protective, grounding, and deeply personal. Rather than large openings for spectacle, windows here are positioned with intention. They frame views like living artworks, a tree branch, shifting clouds, or filtered sunlight. The outside world is invited in, but only gently. Stone surfaces, warm lighting, and uncluttered design transform the bathroom into a place of renewal. It feels less like a utility space and more like a sanctuary for reflection and self-care. silence is not accidental here, it is designed. Acoustic softness, layered materials, and thoughtful spatial planning reduce harsh echoes and noise. The home supports calm not only visually, but physically. The minimalist approach naturally encourages sustainable living. Fewer materials, longer-lasting choices, and thoughtful use of resources create a home that respects both its inhabitants and the environment. Living here feels like mental decluttering. The absence of visual chaos, the presence of natural light, and the harmony of materials work together to create clarity of thought. It's architecture that actively supports well-being. Nothing in this home feels temporary. The design avoids bold trends in favor of quiet longevity. It is built to age gracefully, to remain relevant not because it follows design culture, but because it transcends it. This home ultimately teaches us something simple yet profound, that space shapes behavior and design shapes emotion. It reminds us that a well-considered environment can change how we move, think, and feel each day. And for Modo Haus, this is the essence of what we celebrate: homes that are not just beautiful, but deeply meaningful, offering calm in a world that rarely slows down.